"We serial killers are your sons. We are your husbands. We are everywhere." These chilling words were spoken by none other than Ted Bundy, one of history's most infamous serial killers. Born Theodore Robert Bundy in Burlington, Vermont in 1946, his story begins in the most unassuming of places, an ordinary home. Raised by a complex family that was riddled with secrets and deception, young Bundy's life was far from ordinary. Bundy was no ordinary man either. He was intelligent, charismatic, and handsome. His charm was disarming. It allowed him to hide in plain sight, blending into society like a wolf in sheep's clothing. These qualities made him all the more dangerous and enigmatic. But Bundy's allure was a facade, a mask hiding a monstrous reality. Beneath the charming exterior lurked a cold-blooded killer, a man who took pleasure in the pain and suffering of others. Bundy's story is as chilling as this quote, a tale that begins in the most ordinary of places, a home. An unremarkable childhood, a seemingly normal young man, yet beneath the surface lurked a chilling darkness. Born in Burlington, Vermont on November 24, 1946, Theodore Robert Bundy, better known as Ted Bundy, was raised believing his grandparents were his parents and his mother was his sister. This twisted family secret was a wound that never healed, a crack in his identity that would grow into a chasm of confusion and rage. As a child, Bundy was described as shy but well-behaved. His teachers remembered him as an average student, not particularly outstanding, but not troublesome either. This facade of normality, however, hid a growing fascination with the macabre. From an early age, he exhibited an unusual interest in knives, a hint of the violent obsessions that were to come. Despite these disturbing tendencies, Bundy was a paradox. He was both a loner and a charmer, someone who could blend into the background and yet command attention when he chose to. He was intelligent too, earning a degree in psychology from the University of Washington. His charisma and good looks made him popular with women, a trait he would later exploit in the most horrifying way. But behind the academic achievements and social charm, the darkness within was stirring. Bundy had begun to nurture a fascination with violence, an obsession with control and domination that would ultimately consume him. He was drawn to detective magazines, crime novels, and true crime documentaries, feeding his dark fantasies. His mind was a petri dish for the monstrous persona that was slowly taking shape. His transformation was not overnight. It was a slow, gradual process, like a benign mole turning malignant. It was a journey from an unremarkable boy to a monster, a journey fueled by a toxic mix of resentment, anger, and a distorted sense of self. The stage was set, the darkness within was about to surface, and the world would never be the same. Bundy's descent into his dark urges was swift and brutal. Once the mask of the charming law student slipped off, a horrifying monster emerged, preying on the unsuspecting and innocent. His reign of terror spanned several years and multiple states, leaving behind a chilling legacy of blood and fear. Ted Bundy was not your average criminal. He was cunning, manipulative, and ruthless. He used his charm and good looks to lure his victims, often feigning injuries or pretending to be in need of help. Once he had gained their trust, he would strike, abducting them to fulfill his dark desires. One such case was that of Linda Ann Healy, a law student in Washington. Bundy approached her pretending to be a fellow student in need of notes. Once he had gained her trust, he struck, leaving no trace of Linda. Her disappearance remained a mystery until Bundy's eventual confession years later. Another chilling episode was the abduction of Carol Durant from a Utah shopping mall. Bundy lured her by posing as a police officer. He told her that her car had been broken into and that he needed her to come with him to the station to file a report. Once she was alone with him, he attacked. But Carol fought back, and in a turn of events, managed to escape, becoming one of the few to survive Bundy's clutches. The sheer brutality and ruthlessness of his crimes were unfathomable. Bundy viewed his victims as mere objects to fulfill his sadistic urges, showing no remorse or empathy for the lives he destroyed. He planned his abductions meticulously, often returning to the scenes of his crimes, reliving his violent acts in a chilling show of narcissism and detachment. The sheer number and brutality of Bundy's crimes sent shockwaves through society, leaving a trail of pain and fear in his wake. His reign of terror may have ended with his capture, but the nightmares he induced continue to haunt the annals of American crime history. Even after his capture and execution, Bundy's legacy continues to haunt us. The impact of Ted Bundy's crimes resonates far beyond the confines of his own life. The lives he took, the families he shattered, and the terror he instilled in society continue to echo in the annals of true crime. Each victim had a name, a story, a life that was brutally cut short, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Their memory is a stark reminder of the human cost of Bundy's monstrous acts. The fascination surrounding Bundy's life and crimes has proven to be both enduring and troubling. His charm, good looks, and seemingly normal life painted a picture that starkly contrasted with the heinous crimes he committed. This dichotomy only served to feed the public's curiosity, leading to countless books, movies, documentaries, and even a Netflix series. Yet, this fascination often obscures the true horror of his actions and the suffering of his victims. The media portrayal of Bundy has been criticized for its tendency to romanticize him, focusing on his charisma and intelligence rather than the brutality of his crimes. This raises important questions about how we, as a society, perceive and portray serial killers. Bundy was not a charismatic anti-hero but a ruthless murderer who took pleasure in inflicting pain and terror. Despite the passage of time, Bundy's name continues to be synonymous with evil. His story has been used to explore the darkest corners of the human psyche, challenging our understanding of what it means to be a monster. It's a chilling reminder that evil can wear the face of a friend, a neighbor, or a charming stranger.